David Bowie, obviously, of Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars, actually. So, all inclusive. How are you? Seinfeld or Curb? Love them both. I mean, I think Curb is a bit more, it pushes it a little bit more, but Seinfeld, no slouch. Both great. It's not a competition. Right, questions. From straight away. Now, I'm not going to get to all of these. I've got hundreds. So I sort of find them and put them in on a little list and I just go through them. So I won't get to all of them. So apologies. Eyes are stinging. Yes, I had a hot bath with bubbles. I didn't have a bath with bubbles. Me and Michael Jackson's chimp. I meant with right, Joey the cat. What's your favourite thing about Liverpool? It's difficult to say. I've only played it a couple of times. I'm playing it a third time, but I don't really see the city, particularly if I'm there for one night, which I often am. So of what I've seen, the best thing about Liverpool was the audience. They were fantastic. Listen, all audiences are great. But yeah, there's certain places that seem to be one louder. Dublin. First time I played Dublin, definitely seemed louder. So, yeah, I think the crowd, and they're all about that, aren't they? They're all about entertainment and comedy, and also I think that it's a real place, sort of real people doing real jobs, and you know what I mean. So I think humour is sort of in their blood. So yeah, I'd say the audiences. I could be talking. I don't know. Some people go, no, the best thing about Liverpool is the pubs or something. I don't know. I haven't seen those, but I really like playing there. Keena, where do you get your inspiration when it comes to creating the female characters in your shows and movies? I mean, the answer is always real life. I mean, you could ask me any question about my influences, comedy, stand-up, films. It's always real life first, isn't it? And I particularly like realism, and I particularly like writing about ordinary people and real things. I don't really do fantastical stuff. I mean, I love it. I love sci-fi and things like that. But I sort of do. I do modern dramas about ordinary people mostly. It's all about the human condition. All my stuff is about things that are great about us and bad about us. I laugh at humanity, good bits and bad bits. So, and I was brought up with and by women really. I think I saw my mum 10 times more than my dad, if you know what I mean. He was out all day, and I had a sister who she taught me to read at 3. I mean, I think my nieces outweigh my nephews by about 5 or 10 to 1, and all my family were sort of carers. So like Derek, I got from them. Also, I like. I've always thought that often in films, rom-coms, Hollywood rom-coms, sitcoms, women are usually props for men. Men are the ones that get the best lines, or if the women get the best lines, it's because they're dim, or you know what I mean. So I've always been careful to show that women are three-dimensional, and particularly stuff like Derek and Afterlife. I like that women are sort of lionesses, that they're doing the work They're doing as much work as men, and they don't get time off because they're sort of keeping the world together. But yeah, like Hannah, I made her, you know, nice and empathetic and caring, but she didn't mind people. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. Ah, my computer's died. There it is. It didn't die, it's just all the buttons have gone wrong. I think it's like breakfast. Crumbs in the computer, the key stick. That space bar I have to press really hard. So some of I'm writing, I'm not looking, my sentences are all one fucking word. So I have to go back, fucking press the space bar a bit more carefully. It's definitely a fucking crumb or something. Jessie Cat. Yeah. My question is, if you were a cat, which part of your body would you enjoy washing the most? For me, oh, you are a cat, I see. For me, it's definitely my front right paw. Well, yeah, but you have to do that, don't you? Because you're not just washing that, you're using that as a sort of flannel or a loofah. Like, there's bits that you wash, and then you wash your paw, but then you use your paw to do your ears, don't you? So I think I'd say ears, because I think a cat looks cool when it does that. You know what I mean? You don't look so cool when you're trying to do your back or you're going forward. Would I have my back or a cat's back? Because if I was a cat and I had my back, there's bits of me that would never get washed. Yeah, if I was a cat, I think behind the ears. I'd have the cleanest ears. Normal. Sharon Midnight Moon. Have you performed at an open air stadium before? I'm doing the Hollywood Bowl. If yes, how did you find the atmosphere? If you know, are you worried it will affect the atmosphere? Thank you. I'm worried about so much stuff. I haven't really. I have played open air things like stadiums and festivals before, but not as me as the only act. I've been, you know. So this is the first time that I've sold it out and it's just me. But yeah, I am worried. I was worried about everything. I'm worried about it raining. My promoter said, it hasn't rained for 3 fucking years when we booked it in LA. I'm worried about, can they hear at the back if the wind changes? I'm worried about all these things. I'm worried about I can do a sound check, but it'd be light when I check all the lights and stuff, and then it'd be dark. So what if I get out there and I've got it wrong and it's dark, but the floodlights are in my face and I can't see? So yes, I do worry about everything. I'm trying to stop doing that because I try and have a plan B, C, and D. I can't. I think the world's out to, you know, get me. And what I've got to do is think I'll do that. And if something goes wrong, I don't care. But you can't make yourself be what you're not. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I worry about everything. I worry about things that are just ridiculous. I worry about 1,000-to-1 shots. But I'm looking forward to it. I've just got to do it and enjoy it and be about the event. So yeah. If Jolette, if you could bring back one of your former child cats, if you could bring back one of your former cats to be Pickle's friend, which would you choose and why? Oh God, they're all lovely. Okay, I've got a decision. I've got a reason. I think I'd have to bring back Colin because we didn't have him long enough. We rescued him, and I think he died about like 4 or 5. Had a little brain hemorrhage, so he didn't live long enough for my liking. So I'd bring back Colin, the big, fat, dim, black and white thing. I'm saying it's she. It was a she. I think every cat we've had is a she with a boy's name. Wilf, Colin, Ollie. And is Ollie, can Ollie be a girl's name? Doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. And Pickle, that's not really a gendered name at all, is it, Pickle? It's got male connotations. So yeah, Andy Hughes, what is your favourite venue you have played either here or abroad? Can't wait to see you in Liverpool. Liverpool's getting a few mentions, isn't it? I love the warm-ups. I love the Leicester Square Theatre. It's only 400. I do all my warm-ups there, and that's great. That's just a really great venue that's all packed. I don't think you can beat a Victorian theatre of most sizes. They're all packed in. It's all soft furnishings like velvet. It's all, you know. I like it dark. I like it blackout. I can't see the audience out of the lights, and that seems the best. But I like playing the big places as well. And I probably play more of those abroad than here because I can only go for one night, if you know what I mean. So I try and venues. If it's just about the venue, I think the Olympia in Paris is pretty magical. I can't put my finger on it why. I think those rock and roll venues are great. Massey Hall in Toronto was amazing. So yeah, but I only go to places I love, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Victorian theatres are still the best. But the stadiums have got bigger now. The arenas and whatever, they've got better now. The sound's better. They've got huge screens. They're better than they were. Meg, are the Foxes back? Any minute now, I reckon. I think we heard them mating a few weeks ago, and like last year they just appeared as like, I don't know, 4 weeks old. I don't know. So I think hopefully we're gonna see some tiny little cubs soon. I'll keep you posted. Sue, question request. You can choose. Please can you tell an old 70s joke, or play the guitar, or in a drain? For whole time's sake. No, if you if you just tuned in and you've seen someone requesting me do in a drain, what must you be thinking? I can't play the guitar. It's there. I'll have to turn round. An old 70s joke. Oh God, an old 70s joke. Like a silly, childish one. The chicken who went to the library, and he went up to the counter, and the librarian went, "It's weird, chicken in the library," and the chicken went, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." So this is not like my stand-up, by the way, right? And the librarian went, "Weird," but we wanted the book. Chicken gets the book and goes off. Comes back the next day, puts the book down, and he goes, "Bark, bark, bark, bark." Librarian wants another book. So I gave him another book, and he goes off. Next day he comes back, puts the book back, right? And goes, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." And the librarian, he goes up, the librarian goes, "I'm going to follow him, see what he's doing with these books." So the librarian sort of follows him. The chicken's going along with this book. He follows him down the road, across a field, through the woods, goes to a sort of pond, and there's a frog. And the chicken gives him the book, and the frog goes, "Read it." All right? Good. Right. Glenn, would you do a Vegas residency for a year? No way, instead of touring. Oh, I suppose, actually, that's quite a good idea, isn't it? So they all come to me. I don't move for a year. You can just pop down every night from your penthouse. Jane and Pickle go with you. Well, if I was there for a year, I wouldn't live in a hotel. I'd rent a house or something. a year's a long time, just doing it. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I could maybe do it for a month, one day maybe. I don't think you understand how lazy and tired I am. But I like the idea. This is how lazy I've got, right? This time, right, after COVID and after I'd got the Supernature filmed and all that, I thought I've got to start again. I actually thought, what if I bought a theatre or built a theatre in Hampstead? I actually started looking if there's a building I could convert into a theatre and just play there every night. There wasn't. But anyway, it was a thought, wasn't it? Maybe one day. Ollie Afterlife. We all know you as a writer, director, comedian and animal advocate. But tell us about you as a painter, your style, your process, your thing. I'm not a painter. I'm just not. I'm embarrassed. I've done a few paintings. And, I mean, 1 in 10 I might like and put up. And I'll go over until I find it. But it's pretty random. I've got no skill or... I mean, I've got a bit of a style. I've got the things I like. I like sort of nearly abstract, and I like Turnery type colours and dark, sort of ominous. But honestly, if it comes out right, it's luck. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's like chess. I like it when it goes well, and then I can. Oh, why did I do that? That's rubbish. What annoys me is I haven't got the skill to put on the canvas what's in my head. So it's sort of luck. But yeah, I enjoy it. Betsy the Rescue Beagle. Here's my question. I'm fascinated by the long railway line in your short film. I post a little picture. I'm doing a short film. Well, I've done it. I'm editing it tomorrow. Would love to know what you're planning. Is it one of those silent movies where people travel up and down the railways, like one of those things? No, it's just a short film. It's 10 minutes. I won't spoil it, but I really enjoyed it. In fact, that's another thing I was thinking. Maybe we could just do short films because it's only one day filming. It's called 7 Minutes, so look out for it. But yeah, it's fun. Right. Question: Gonzo the cat. What does Weetabix and water taste like? #Afterlife. In Afterlife, my character, he's got the end of the sort of Weetabix, whatever it is, all that stuff at the bottom. And he's got no milk, and he just puts water on it, and I drank it. For real, obviously. It doesn't taste of much, actually. It's horrible, though, because it's the texture. It's, like, cold. So it's like... It's sort of like a cross between sawdust and wet biscuit. You know when you've been dunking biscuits, and it's dropped off and you didn't know it, and then you drink the last bit of tea and the biscuit goes down. It's like that. Again, I don't know if everyone around the world dunks biscuits and then drops one without knowing and then drinks their tea with a biscuit in it. I'm sure that must have happened to everyone. I used to get through a packet of biscuits by myself. When I was on the dole, I used to go to the shop and get a packet of like custard creams or hobnobs if I could afford them, and have a cup of tea. I'd get through a whole packet. I know what you're thinking. Rick, you're an athlete. How did you keep your figure? Don't know. Once, right, I think someone asked me that question, and I said, I'd like to be thrown to the lions at London Zoo, and just see loads of sort of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Just naked and then pulling his apart, right? Anyway, a journalist must have been listening. And so, like, a few weeks later, there was a story in the paper, and the headline was something like, London Zoo refuse Ricky Gervais' permission to be thrown to the lions. Like I was serious. So this journalist said, he must have known I wasn't serious, right? But he called up London Zoo and asked them if I'd be allowed to do that. And they said, no, of course not. So it made me look like a fucking maniac. Like, I seriously... Oh, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if that's what happened. It might be a good idea. I mean, the thing wrong with that is that lions shouldn't be in zoos. That's the main thing about that. Don't put fucking lions in zoos. But, yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck if I was... But I wasn't serious, was I? Fucking hell. You got to watch what you say. I should really, shouldn't I? I should try that one day. I should try watching what I say. See how that works out. Right. The Mel Toffee and Fudge. If a member of the royal family wanted to come to one of your gigs, who would you like to come, Mr. Ricky? Well, they have actually. William and Harry came to one. I think Harry's been to more than one. I think he's been to 2 or 3. And I remember once he brought William along, and we had a drink after and everything. Yeah, one gig, it was William and Harry, at the back, right? William and Harry, with their 7 security. Madonna and Paul McCartney. Not one of them paid. Right. Yeah, we've got through this, haven't we? Leopold and Loveday. Look, we're on Lions and Tigers. Lion versus Tiger. Who wins? Oh, God. Like Derek. Who would win out of a lion and a tiger? What? Who would win out of a hippo and a rhinopotamus? What? Who would win out of a mammoth and a tractor? If a mammoth was angry. What? Who would win? Who would win out of a whale and 3 sharks? Don't know. Who would win out of a lion and a tiger? Oh, I think tigers might be slightly bigger. And, I don't know. Lions, aren't male lions a bit lazier than... Don't they let the females do the hunting? They just sit back. Maybe the male tiger's a bit fitter. He's a bit more... You know what I mean? The lion might be a bit ring rusty. He hasn't had a fight for a while. I mean, I don't know why they'd meet. Who's arranging this? Don King? Who's... There probably is somewhere where they do that, isn't there? They probably did it in the Roman times, didn't they? They used to have all sorts of things for each other. Neither of them would come off really well, would they? Neither of them would... It wouldn't be one punch and you're out. I think they'd probably both die of their injuries. But I suppose who gets the neck first, isn't it? I'm taking this way too seriously. I'd go the tiger, if I'm right in that they're a bit bigger. But my advice is don't f animals for a laugh. Well, that was an absolute load of bollocks, as promised. Old time's sake, innit? Me wiping my eyes after a bubble bath. Not a bath with bubbles. Good. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket. Absolutely mental. As I've tweeted, I never take it for granted. To sell out arenas in your own country is one thing, but to sell them out around the world, that is really fucking mental. I can't believe the response. I can't believe that they sell out in minutes and people want another one. It's absolutely amazing. Incredible. I never take it for granted. I always want to get the gig the show's so good. It's going really well. It's funny, isn't it? You play arenas around the world. You play to like hundreds of thousands of people every year, right, around the world. It goes great. They love it. Everyone there loves it. They paid their money and they love it. And then some snotty fucker in a posh paper goes, bit lazy. This has just sat down. He's thought about it for about 20 minutes. 3 stars. You can. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.